about to enter fringe space. Behind you, you just start 4 wrestling spaceports, with Unity armed forces maintaining security and safety. Unity stands as a beacon of human achievement, a galactic body that governs the most advanced civilization humanity has ever seen. Life on the core world is comfortable, your health guaranteed by genetic updating, your safety guaranteed by the might of the Star Fleet, your retirement guaranteed by correctly filling out Form 274C and Supplemental Form 37C-3. First 4 pages only. Here in front of you is the Fringe, a scattered array of worlds that defy generalization, anarchistic colonies of determined frontier settlers, crime-ridden concrete towns, corporate-controlled extraction bases, and battlegrounds for warlords and pirates. Opportunities for credits are everywhere you dare to look. Mercenary work, doing dirty jobs for the corporations, helping solve the trouble of some colony. If you have a ship to your name and a crew you can trust, you can go far. Sometimes it even pays well. Find allies when you can, because your enemies will certainly remember your face. Nobody makes it very far on their own. Of course, you may not live to spend your ill-gotten gains. Maybe you end up face down in the radioactive sand after a shootout. Maybe you're collateral damage in a galactic war invasion. Maybe you try to pet a Krorg. You might meet some exciting people out there. Nomadic remnants of old settler groups, fanatic devotees to some alien religion. People who have gone psycho. For everything remotely valuable in your collection, you better be prepared to fend off the inevitable starport scum looking for easy pickings. There's lots of aliens too. Cairn, they're usually looking for a fight, but it doesn't hurt to hire one. Just don't challenge them to a duel. They take that serious. Little lizard guy over there, we call him the Swift. I hope you don't mind the chirping sound they make that all day long. The odd-looking ones in the masks are engineers. Can talk directly to a computer and make it work. Invaluable, actually. And if you keep your eyes open, you might see a few precursors roaming around. They say they are enlightened beyond the likes of you and me. If you prefer someone less prone to bleeding out, maybe you'll meet the soulless. They're robots, but they have personalities like you and I, only connected through a hive mind. It's like having 20 million friends. Not all aliens you meet are as talkative though. If the converted make planetfall, get off world, or your body will end up recycled as one of their troopers. And if you meet the swarm, you'll be busy reloading until they rip your crew to tiny pieces. But at least it'll be memorable, right?
All right. Hello. This is session 2 of our solo 5 Parsecs From Home play. Session 1 was building our crew. And now we're finally going to undertake our first mission. So let's go over there. There we go. So we're using the Alchemy VTT to play this game. It's a system I know well, so setting it up was the one I was most comfortable with. The rulebook for 5 Parsecs actually does give you some tips on playing on a grid, so I kind of took those to heart, plus adding my own little bits. Hey, Clarion's in the chat. How you doing, Clarion? So in our first session, we made our crew. Can take a look at them really quick. So we have our Sal's Raiders, the crew of the ancient low-tech craft called the Scarab. I have an echo. Ah, shoot. Why do I have an echo? Alright, one moment. That's off. Do I have an echo now? Or can you even hear me now? Let me know, Clarion. Still an echo. Okay. How about now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Or am I muted? Can I hear myself? No. You're quiet, but the echo is gone. Oh no. Oh no. Echo came back. Yeah, okay. So is this any better? Now it's gone. And you can hear me okay? Problem is there's a delay between what you're hearing and what I'm doing. With the volume turned up. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Okay. Mic is okay. Oh, let me ask you this. You have to turn your volume up. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Well, shoot. That's weird because I have the gain like cranked way up. Is that any better? I just pretty much maxed out the mic gain, so let me know if that's better. Well, I'm glad you're here, Clarion, or I would have just been silently echoing and not knowing what was going on. It sounds the same. What the heck? Huh. I don't know if I can crank this up anywhere else. Oh. Are you hearing... I have music playing on Alchemy. Are you hearing that? No. I hate technology so much. Alright, I have the correct things selected. Something I did turned it off. Okay, can you hear me better now? Where? No, Luna's not here right now. But can you hear me any better now? You are clear. Oh, okay. I guess I was trying to patch in the Alchemy audio for fun, you know. God forbid we have a little fun, and I guess it's conflicting somehow. I don't know. I have to talk to Jeremy about that. Okay. Anyway, so where were we? So last session we created Sal's Raiders, our ragtag crew, and it is a 6-person crew. They have a ship called Scarab, which is an ancient low-tech craft. So we have Captain Sal, our human leader. We have Noe, also human. Mira, human. Then we have Bob the Bot. Romeo 5690, which is a sort of soulless. They're called soulless, but it's like a sentient, free-willed, synthetic android type. And then we have Relen, who is a precursor, which are kind of an older humanoid race, like ancient, wise humanoid race. They're very rare. I equate them to kind of like Eldar or Minbari from Babylon 5. So we made our crew, and then this go around, I had, between that session and this session, I had to generate our mission background, and there were some steps that we had to go through. So we generated our world, and then we had to answer some questions. So were we traveling? No, it's our first mission. We're not traveling. There's a world phase where you have to do your upkeeps. So for a crew of 6, I had to pay a credit. And then I have debt on my ship, the Scarab. So the debt started at 24 credits. I went ahead and paid 5 credits, knowing that during this phase your debt goes up by 1 credit, like an interest payment. So I paid 5, brought it to 19, and then it immediately went to 20. Then I had to assign equipment to my crew. Oh, and then they got to go out and do little tasks. So Captain and Noe decided to train, so they both got an XP for training. Romeo 569-0 and Relen went out to explore. You make rolls on tables to do all this. So Romeo ended up seeing the sights and got nothing. Relen picked a fight and created a rival for our crew. So in future missions, there'll be a test to see if the mission involves our rivals. So that's kind of cool. And then Mira and Bob the Bot went out to find a patron, because patrons are how you get your jobs. So we made a roll for that, and we did find a patron. In crew creation, we had generated a patron, so that gave us 2. And what that does is it increases the odds of getting a mission on the world from a patron. So we did get a mission. I should mention that there is a story campaign in the rulebook that you kind of bolt on to a normal campaign, and at certain times you'll do story missions instead of a normal generated campaign mission. So you never start with a story mission. So although I kind of have plans to do those story missions if I keep playing, this is a very boilerplate, normal, just generated with charts mission we're doing for our first mission. But having said that, we had to figure out what this new patron was about, and it is a secretive group. And the assets from a secretive group are that you get +2 credits for danger pay. So we generated our mission based on our patron. We got a time frame for the job, and the time frame was we could do it this turn or the next, so campaign turn. So obviously it's our first mission, so we're just going to do it on our first campaign turn. We had to roll to see if there were benefits or hazards or conditions. There were no benefits. There was a hazard, which was that we are facing veteran opposition. There's a lot of things about this first mission that have me a little worried. So basically what that did was it lowered their panic range. So all the bad guys have a panic range. And after a battle turn, if they've suffered losses, they have to make panic rolls. And it's a chance that they might just flee the battle. Well, all of their panic ranges went down by 1 because they are veterans. And then a condition for the job was that our patron is busy. And what busy means is if we are successful, they will give us a mission on the next turn. So as long as we succeed in this mission, we're guaranteed a ready loaded mission from this patron next time. So we signed our equipment. We had to make a roll on rumors. And we didn't make that roll, so no worries there. We had to roll to see if our rivals were going to show up for this mission. These rivals we just got. They didn't, so I haven't actually generated the rivals yet. I'll do that before the next mission. And then we carry out the patron job. So we had to set up, figure out what kind of job it was. This job was called a brief engagement. So at the end of each round, we have to roll 2 dice 6, and if the roll is equal to or below the round number, the game ends inconclusively, which is bad, because that would mean I haven't completed the mission successfully for my boss or our patron, and you get bonuses if you hold the battlefield at the end of the mission. And so we wouldn't get those either. So we need to kill these guys really fast. So what's the objective? The objective we determined through rolling was to fight off. So literally the only objective is very simple, is to hold the field and drive them all off, either killing them or panicking them off the field. So it's very simple. We're basically clearing an area. So then we had to generate our enemy, remembering that they're veterans, and we determined that they were from a criminal element, which is one of the tables of enemies. So 3 bonus credits will be available as a bounty if we hold the field after the battle. Even more incentive to hold the field. Then we had to figure out what type of criminals they are. They are gunslingers. So veteran gunslingers who we need to just chase away or kill. And how many there are. Ended up being 7 of them. So they outnumber us. They're veterans and they outnumber us because we have a crew of 6. So through the roles and the size of their group, we determined that they have 2 specialists, one of which is a lieutenant. And lieutenants get extra combat skill and they carry a blade, which gives them a bonus in melee combat. There were no unique individuals, although I did name the lieutenant. Gunslingers panic on a 1 or 2 normally, which means if they're veterans, they're going to panic on a 1. They have speed of 4, which is kind of human normal. They get a +1 combat skill, which means the lieutenant had a +2 combat skill. They have toughness of 3, which again, kind of human normal. They had to have a disposition for their AI, basically, which really only seems to affect their setup in this case, and their disposition was tactical, which meant they started the game in 3 separate groups, which I'll explain on the battle map here in just a sec. They have military rifles, which have pretty decent range. And the specialists, the 1 specialist and the lieutenant, have rattle guns, which are just like automatic rifles. So then we had to set up the battle. It was such a 2 big groups, so I decided to go with their largest suggested map size, which is a 3-foot by 3-foot space. Remember, normally you would play this with minis and measure in inches, so I put over a hex grid, 36 by 36, basically. And then we set up the terrain, which you'll see here in just a minute. It has 3 large pieces, 6 small pieces, and 3 linear pieces, which are kind of like fences and things like that. We set up on opposite ends of the table. They're tactical, so they have to be broken into 3 teams that are at least 8 inches apart. So that's the basic rundown. Let's jump over to the mission. So I've named the mission Trouble on Elessar 427, which is what we've decided to name this world. So let's go to the tactical map. Here is our tactical map. Made this map in Incarnate. If you're on our Discord, I shared a preview of this not too long ago. Alchemy did some weird things with their grid, and so I got the grid the correct size and the correct number, but you may see here that there's some overlap off the map of hexes, and I still don't know why that happens, but it's all the right scale, so that's fine. So the enemy team is up here on top. You see they're broken into 3 groups. They had to be 8 inches at least apart, and they start 1 to 2 inches apart from each other. So, let's zoom in here a little bit. We have named this gang of gunslingers the Black Reckoning. And I have 1 group of just their standard soldiers here, these guys. I have a middle group that includes 2 soldiers and their specialist, who has one of those rattler guns, which is an automatic weapon. And then all going solo over here is Mr. Tough Stuff, the Pandemonium Kid, who is their lieutenant. They didn't really have any command rules. It's not like having a lieutenant does something specific. They're just better. And then my team is down here on the opposite edge. So we have Captain Sal, and I put him near Noe, who's basically second in command, which has absolutely no mechanical thing. Captain Sal has a long-range weapon. In fact, let's take a look. He has a hunting rifle with a range of 30. So I wanted him on a team with someone that didn't have a long-range weapon. And then I have Bob here, who has, I think, our next longest range weapon, which is 24 inches. So I have him kind of going solo. And then the rest of the team here, Romeo 569-0, Relen, and Mira, who, they have a mix of weapons. None of them are particularly long range. And then let's talk about the battlefield a little bit. So I made a sort of urban environment. We have some different things going on here. This is the roof of a building, and anywhere there's elevation, I've just put a little tag explaining how high up it is. So here you see this little H3. That is the height of this roof. So the way that works is it's 3 inches high. It takes you 3 inches of your movement to get on top. I do have one person with a jump belt that can kind of jump up on top of high spaces. Here I have barrels, which little C right there, they just provide cover. That's all they do. So right now my intention is to have Sal get on that roof with his long range weapon and have Bob take cover at the barrels to also use his long range weapon. Some other features here. There's rough terrain. Basically every 2 inches you move in rough terrain requires an extra inch of movement, which means the normal move is usually 4, so it would be 3 to move across 2 of these, so it's eating up your movement. The lights don't do anything in the game. I just thought they were cool. And then what else? We have some vehicles. They are cover and rough to try to move across them. Basically slows you down to climb across a car. The fencing here is one of our linear features. Just you can take cover on it. This complex here, I made a lot of elevation stuff. So we have height 1, height 2, and height 3. And then all the way on top, height 4 there. So you can get really high on that. A couple more cars and forklifts, more barrels for cover. This spaceship that these guys are starting behind has a couple elevation levels. So the general part of the ship is elevation 1 inch, and then the center turret area is elevation 2. So that gives them some cover and elevation options. So that's what we're dealing with. There's some rough here. Let's talk about the AI. Very, very little AI. Tactical. The fact that they are a tactical group told me how to set them up. Beyond that, though, it literally is just they take the easiest shot they can take. So if it's a choice between shooting a guy in the open and shooting a guy in cover, they shoot the guy in the open. There is a rule in the combat goes for both sides that if there's an enemy within 3 inches, that's the enemy you have to shoot at. So I'm going to try to because there aren't really any AI rules, which kind of surprised me. I'm just going to try to be as fair and equitable as I can with their movement and their choice of cover and things like that. The one thing you know is the choice of targets. It's always going to be the easiest target. If we look over here, I have all my characters set for NPC as NPCs, so I can just control them all at once. There's a couple divisions here, so once we start the first round, we will figure out who's going fast, who's going first. Then it's the enemy turn, and then it's all your characters who are slow. So we'll make basically an initiative roll, split them up. The enemy goes between your fast characters and your slow characters every time. I have a little in the initiative order here. I have, which I guess I can turn that on now. I have little tokens to separate out the fast actors from the slow actors that I will just put them in between in this queue. Oh, I have one other icon here, or token. These tokens here that say Snapfire will be put on characters who I want to give Overwatch to. They call it Snapfire. A lot of games like this would call it Overwatch. It's basically you forego, in this game, you forego your fast action if you are a fast actor in favor of waiting to the slow phase. But if an enemy moves into your range before the slow phase, you can shoot at them. So it's like an Overwatch. And if you hit them and stun them, which probably you will if you hit them, they don't get to shoot that turn. So it's a cool little Overwatch ability that we'll see if it's useful or not. But basically I can just flag a character with this token if I need to remember that. All right, so yeah, that's basically it. We'll talk about the turn. So the very first thing we have to do at the start of the game, it's not part of the combat, is see whether or not we seize the initiative. So we roll 2d6, add the highest savvy score of any crew member, add +1 if you are outnumbered. We are, so we get a +1. We're not fighting with hired muscle. We're not doing any of the difficulty stuff. So if we get a 10 or higher, every character in our crew may either take a normal move or may fire before the battle begins. But any shots taken only hit on a natural 6. So basically it's a roll to see if your team got to the battlefield early or did some scouting that let them get the jump on there. Problem, and I'll show you here on the battlefield, this is a 36 by 36 grid. If you seize the initiative, the longest range weapon I have, I think, is 30 inches on Captain Sal. Let me double check. Yes. So nobody will be in range. So if I win the seize the initiative roll, I will just be moving, which is still good. Can get into position faster. So I do have one help with this. Romeo 5690 has a piece of gear called a scanner bot, which the crew adds +1 to all seize the initiative rolls. So we're going to do our seize the initiative roll real quick. So it's 2d6. We're outnumbered, so it's +1. And we have a scanner bot, so it's +2. And we add our best savvy. Our best savvy is Romeo 5690 or Bob the bot. So we'll say Romeo did it because he's got the scan bot. So 2. So it's a 2d6 +4. Simple enough. We need a 10 or higher. So we're going to roll 2d6 and add 4 to it. Oh, also Alchemy has 3D dice now, which is, I didn't even see that announcement. I was all like, yay, 3D dice. So we rolled a 9. Plus 4 is 13. So we did, in fact, seize initiative. So before combat even starts, we get to make a move. All right. So the captain wants to be on that roof. Let me just check their gear. One of them has the jump belt. Oh, let's talk about the gear. So the captain has a tracker sight, and he gets a +1 to hit a target if it's the same target he targeted the previous round. So that's kind of cool. No, he doesn't have any special gear. Mira has a screen generator, which gives her a 5+ saving throw against gunfire. So she has like a Starfingers had those two sort of screens that make it harder to see you, kind of thing. Bob has a beam light, which will not help at all. It basically increases your visibility when visibility is being artificially lowered. Oh, hey, Abyss. So that won't even be useful in this battle because we don't have any artificially lowered visibility. The scanner bot that Romeo has we just used, and then Relen has the jump belt. So instead of moving normally, she can make a jump that's 9 inches forward and 3 inches up, and then she can do normal combat after that. So that's going to be really useful for these elevations. So that's Relen. All right, so let's get to moving here. I think almost everyone has the same movement. Yeah, so Captain has a move of 4, which unfortunately keeps him from getting on the roof, but we'll set him up here. Zoe has a move of 4 also. So 1, 2, I think we'll cut her around to the corner. Bob is going 1, 2, 3, 4, straight for the barrels. Normally, in regular combat rounds, if you move and do nothing else, you can add 2 inches to your movement. This isn't really in combat, so we're not going to be doing that. Okay, Romeo has a move of 4. I got a feeling everyone does. 1, 2, 3, 4. He wants to get up behind that cover. Relen can do her jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll just stop right here. So because we're using a hex grid, if your hex is next to a piece of cover, you're in cover. And then Mira, I'm assuming, has a move of 4. Yes, she does. Everyone has a move of 4. That's easy to remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. She'll fan out a little bit. All right. So that is our seizing the initiative movement. Yeah, I know, Abyss. I'm very late on getting this battle done. All right, so now we do actual real initiative. So I have my little cheat sheet here. Round secrets. Roll a die 6. A number of die 6 matching your crew size. Assign each die to a crew figure, comparing the result to the figure's reaction score. If the result was equal to or below their reaction, the figure acts in the quick action phase. Okay, so I need to roll 66 for my crew. There goes the awesome 3 dice, or 3-dimensional dice. Okay. So they do time out though, I've noticed. So we've got a 5, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay. If we look at our character sheets really quick, we're looking at reaction, right? Reaction 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. So the only 2 that have a hope are Bob the Bot and Romeo. Those 2 synths. Go figure. I do have 2 2s, so I can assign those to them. And that will make them fast actors in the first turn. So they'll go first. Okay, so Bob the Bot. So let's move our fast action thing up here. Boosh. And we'll put Romeo and Bob up there in the fast actions. And then after fast actions is all your enemy actions. So I need to get all my enemies up here. Tracking them. I'm glad it's if you get hit, you're dead kind of thing in this game, because tracking all these NPCs would be really annoying. Okay, and then after the bad guys will be our slow acting characters, which is everybody except our robots. Okay. There we go. So, let's look at the cheat sheet. So we've figured that out, right? Now our actions are, a figure may move, then make a combat action. Stunned figures may move or make a combat action, not both. And then after they act, they remove a stun marker. Oh, I didn't make a stun marker. I'll probably just copy that slow action token or something. So you have to move and then act. If you move and don't do anything else, you get +2 inches. If you're in the quick phase, you can do none of that and go into Overwatch, basically, which they call Snapfire. What mistake did I make, Abyss? Or are you just being sarcastic? Don't do that to me right now. I've already had technical difficulties. Okay. Shouldn't this be Firetop Mountain Part 2, Herbert's Return? Oh, yeah. I should have named one of these guys Herbert, actually. That's a good point. Okay, so we're moving our bots. Bob wants to be up here. Normal move is 4. If I don't do anything else, I could go 2 more inches farther. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it doesn't really do me any good. He'll just move up and be in cover here. Again, it's on hexes, so if my hex is next to the hex with the cover piece in it, we're going to call it cover. And then the other one is Romeo. He wants to get into cover as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not going to shoot, so he'll move into cover behind the fence. Okay, so those are my 2 fast actors. So now it's all the bad guys' turns. And I think in this first round, they're probably just going to get into position 2. Generally speaking, though, they have military rifles, which have a range of 24. So we will check range as we go. You're also supposed to move the guys closer to the enemy edge first. So we'll start with this guy. So if he goes here, that's 2 inches because he's now on an elevation 1. Then he can go 3. Excuse me. 4 inches, and he's now technically in cover behind this turret because it is higher elevation. This guy is out in the middle of it. Nothing. So I guess he will just make a run for the fence He is running through rough terrain, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3 inches. 4. If he doesn't shoot, he can keep going. 5, 6. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now the farther back guys can go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he'll climb for 5, 6. This guy will 1. They can't all take cover up there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. This guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the Pandemonium Kid, our lieutenant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. Okay. Anybody got range here? Let's see. Yeah. Oh, but he moved full. Okay, so never mind. Yeah, so there will be no shooting this round. Right? For them. So now our slow actors. So we'll go down here to the slow people, which was everybody but the bots. Let's see. Captain Sal's going to climb. This is a height of 3, so basically that's his whole movement. Boom. Can he see anybody? Let's see. Captain Sal's hunting rifle's a range of 30. Oh yeah, look at that. He's, see, I can see this guy. That is blocking. I would probably say that's blocking. So that guy, wow, 30 is really good. Oh wow. Okay. Well, we'll just shoot the closest guy. Makes the most sense, right? Okay, so we moved. Now we can fire. Let's take a look at our cheat sheet. Firing. Must fire targets within 3 inches if enemies are within 3. To hit, roll die 6 plus combat skill. If the target is open and within 6 inches, you hit on a 3+. If they are open and in range, it's 5+. If they're covered, it's 6+. Okay, so 5+ is what we're talking about to shoot this guy. And then we have to look at his weapon one more time. Some weapons get extra dice. This has 1 shot, so no extra dice. So he's rolling a d6 and open target within range 5+. He needs a 5+. Oh, but he has his combat skill. Captain Sal's combat skill is 1. Okay, so 1d6 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that is a miss for Captain Sal. Now let's do Noe. Actually, I think just for good record keeping, I will move them down when I use them. Noe, which means I should move the bots down. Okay, now we'll do Noe. So Noe can move 4, which is 1. Oh no, Noe, what are you doing? We're going to call that part of the roof. Yeah, I guess so. We'll call this part of the roof. Well, no, that doesn't work because... Oh, that sucks. Alright, wasted turn for Noe. Sorry, Noe. You suck. They've added a lot of new features that other VTTs have had forever. Got the 3D dice now. You can drag your tokens over now instead of having to, like, me having to create a, you know, right click and create a token. So, quality of life improvements. All right, Mira and Relen. So Relen has that awesome jump thing, so I think I'll save that for last. Mira is so far back. She's just gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4. Not doing anything else, so she can get 2 more movement. 1, 2. Now she's in cover. Relen, however, can go up 9 inches away and up to 3 inches high. Oh, look at this. Inches high here, or she could be behind the highest elevation here and be safe. So we'll do that. She jumps in there. Excuse me. I don't think she has line of sight on anybody because this is in her way here and nobody is out here. Okay, so that was Relen. And Mira. All right, so not very exciting. We took 1 shot, but we're just now getting into it. So we need to start our next round, which starts with that reaction test. So we need to roll 1 die for every character again. So 6 die 6. Boosh. Oh, the dice stacking on top of each other. Great. Oh, this is bad. We only got 1, 2, and no 1s. So I have the 2 bots have reaction of 2, so I can give one of them a quick action, which is probably going to be Bob. Yeah, I think it would be Bob. Right? Because he has a 24-inch range weapon. Yes, he has a military rifle with a range of 24, which gets you way out here. So what we're going to do with Bob is use the snapfire rule. Give him a little marker. So, like I was explaining earlier, snapfire is like Overwatch and a lot of other games. A bad guy moves in his range, he can shoot at them on the bad guy turn. If they don't, he will get to go on the slow action turn. Alright, so let's move Bob up. Well, we'll put Bob by the snapfire icon. Nobody else gets a quick action, which means we go right into the bad guys. Ugh. Okay, so bad guys have a military rifle with a 24-inch range. And you're supposed to start with the guys closest. So that's going to be these 2 here. So the specialist, the 1 soldier, and the Pandemonium Kid. Alright, so we'll save best for last on that and start with the soldier. I think the soldier wants to get into cover. 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd have to sack his turn to get into cover. He will do that. Get into cover. which will trigger Bob's Snapfire. So just double check. We're shooting at a covered target within range. That's a 6+. Bob. Come on, Bob. Bob has a military rifle which gets 1 shot. And he has a combat skill of 1. So we need a d6 plus 1, and we need a 6. 6. It's a hit by Bob. Hey, we get to do the next part of the combat step. So we've hit. Damage. Die 6 plus damage rating of the weapon. Target eliminated if the die is 6 or modified score equals or exceeds toughness. That's brutal. D6 plus damage rating. If you get a 6 or you just exceed their toughness, they're dead. Survivor is pushed back an inch and stunned. I'm gonna double check Bob's weapon. Military rifles damage is 0. Okay. Don't think these guys have a damage armor save, but let me double check. No, they do not have an armor save. Okay. So I rolled d6 and I want a 6. Oh, oops. What's their toughness? Toughness is 3. Okay, so again, that was equals or exceeds toughness. So a 3 or higher, and he's dead. No. Okay. So he's not dead. He is pushed back 1 inch and stunned. So for stun, as a reminder, I'll just put the little turtle token by him. Come in. Oh, there it is. Okay. Death seems like it would be pretty easy, but not when you roll crappy. Okay, so that was Bob's Snapfire, so we'll remove that. And we'll get back to the bad guys again. That was Black Reckoning Soldier 4. Now it's a specialist's turn. What's his deal? He has the rattle gun, which is a range of 24 and 3 shots, which is terrifying. Okay. And he has what? Combat 1. Okay. So, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 4. So the forklift counts as cover. It doesn't block line of sight. It gives you cover. So it has a range of 24. This elevation does, right here, the height 4 one, does block her line of sight for just straight on targeting purposes. But that's okay, because I'm pretty sure he can see Bob. Yep. Okay. Bob is in cover behind the barrel. Bob the bot, cover, target within range is a 6+. So he has a +1 for his combat skill, so it's a d6 plus 1, needs a 6, but he has a rate of fire of 3. So he's rolling 3 to hits. Oh shit, Bob. Go. 1 hit. So the 5 becomes a 6, so that's a hit. No. Okay, again. D6 plus damage rating of the weapon, which I think the Rattler was 0. Double check. Zero. Okay. So D6 plus damage rating, you need a 6 or to exceed their toughness. Bob's toughness is not showing me right now. That's weird. Come on, Bob. What's your deal? Trackers. Toughness is 4. Oh, that's good. Okay. So D6, if he gets a 4 to 6, Bob is definitely hurt, maybe dead. Whew. Okay. So Bob is not hurt. Bob does have an armor save, which we would have checked next. Both of my robots have armor saves because they're robots. Okay, so that was the specialist. Which leaves... Now the lieutenant needs to go. The Pandemonium Kid. He's probably going to try to get up here and fight Relin. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So height 1. So he's covered from Mira back here, or whoever. But he doesn't have enough move to climb, and he did the extra move, so he can't shoot. Okay. So that leaves our back rank guys. Next up would be probably this one. I think he'll just move up a little on the back of the ship. And 18 to Relin, 18 to Bob. Well, Bob's on his side. They're both technically in cover because she's adjacent to this, so for him he can see her, but she's in cover, so he'll shoot at Bob. So he gets 1 shot. He has a skill of 1. Bob's in cover in long range, so he needs a 6, but he gets a +1 for his combat skill. Fail. Excellent. Now, if this guy, if he moves here, he might get cover against some people. And does he have people in 18, 20? Okay, so in this case, Relin is closer, so this guy, the way the rules work, has to shoot at her. So in cover, long range, needs a 6, but he gets +1 for his combat skill, so it's the same rule. Missed also, thank God. Alright, and this guy is kind of in cover. Can he see her? Yes, he can see her. Alright, he's going to do exact same thing. Missed also. I am getting really lucky with that. And then our last straggler back here. What does, he can't see her. He is... Oh, he could get to Bob. Alright, so he'll move here. Hi, boss. And take a shot at Bob. Exact same number. Long range in cover. Needs a 6. Gets a +1. Oh, shit. Bob got hit again. Alright. is no, let me double check, but I believe there's no damage bonus on this weapon. There is not. Good. So, D6, Bob's toughness is 4. So 4 is 6, and we have an injury problem with Bob. Oh, no. Okay. Bob has been shot. Bob does have an armor save of 6+, because he's a bot. So, oh, they don't even have it on here. Okay, so basically, if I can roll a 6, Bob shrugs off that damage. Oh, wow. No, I can't. Oh my gosh, is Bob eliminated? I think Bob is eliminated, but we will double check. Players don't have morale, blah, blah, blah. Where are the basic fighting rules? Resolving hits. Yep, failed the saving throw. Oh, if a character with luck would be removed as a casualty, they lose 1 point of luck instead. Okay, does Bob have luck? Trackers. Bob does not have luck. Okay. Bob is a clanker, yes. He is our actual bot, non-sentient service bot, as opposed to Romeo 5690, who is what they call the soulless, who are sentient, independent robots. But we have story points, and I think I might use one right now. So we'll go over to the log here, and you'll see that our team came into this fight with 6 story points. If we go to the next page, we can use each one of these. We can use each one of these options with story point spins once. I could immediately end the battle. Looked worse, ignore a roll in the injury table. That's for after the battle. Add a new character scheme. No. Lucky shot. If character just missed a shot, turn into a hit. Okay, so none of those work. Man, Bob is out. That's rough, Bob. Sorry, buddy. Bob is dead. So I guess we'll just take him out of the lineup here for ease of use. Yes, remove from turn order. Bye, Bob. Ah, that sucks. We were already outnumbered. This is not going well. One. Did I forget? Let's see. No, I did not. Okay. All right. So Bob got killed. Yeah, that's a bummer. Bummer to be Bob. All right. I think that is everybody that had a valid target. Oh, I need to kill some people next round. Or well, actually this round, because now it's the slow phase, which is everybody except Bob, who got a snapfire and died. Okay, so we'll start with Captain Sal. He might as well move up. 1, 2, 3, 4. You killed Bob! So I can shoot a lot of these guys. I'm going to shoot this guy on the wing because he's not in cover right now. This guy right here. Hey, how come it's not pinging? Oh, the pinging has stopped. Oh well. Alright, Captain Sal. Definitely range of his hunting rifle. It has one shot, it has one damage. So it better chance to kill. Captain Sal has a combat of 1. So it's long range, no cover. We'll just double check, make sure I'm not lying. Long range, no cover is a 5+. So I have a +1 to that. 6. All right. It's a hit. Now it's a damage +1. So we need to hit his toughness or higher. Toughness is 3. This better work. I have a +1. Whew. And as we discussed, they have no armor save. So that guy is dead. Screw you, you Bob killers. Okay, so that's 1, which means we get to do the panic roll test for the bad guys coming up. Oh, at the end of this round, I need to do the short job test that we talked about before we started. It's not physically possible to fail that roll in the first round because you got to roll your round number or less on 2 dice. So we do need to do that after this. Okay, that was Captain. Noe is going to finally climb this stupid building. Noe has a blast rifle with a range of 16. It has a damage bonus also. Is anything in 16 of us? No. That's too bad, Noe. Alright, I'm going to save Mira for last because I think she can do some cool stuff. Or not Mira, Relin with her jump pack. So Romeo has a colony rifle with a range of 18. So he has a crappy gun. Let's see. So he's probably still doing positional stuff this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's just gonna run up to the wall and get ready. Mira has a machine pistol with a range of 8, but it has 2 shots. And it's focus, which I believe means she has to shoot at the same target. Range of 8, though, is brutal. Yeah. She also has to reposition this turn. So she'll just run over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, she has to be close to people. I don't like that. Alright, save the best for last. Relin, the badass, not Eldar. She has a needle rifle, which has 2 shots with a range of 18 and a critical, which I am blanking on what critical does. Let me look that up real quick. Go back to the weapons. Hello. weapons. There we go. Critical. A natural 6 on the to hit roll will inflict 2 hits on the target. Oh, yeah. And it gets 2 shots. Oh, should she just freaking try to kill the Pandemonium Kid right now? Oh, because they're going to have to do a panic roll. So if I get rid of him, who I don't think panics at all. Okay. Yeah, I think I will. So if she, let's see, she can jump pack 9 by 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, screw it. Berlin's going in with her ancient battle skills of yakety schmack. Okay. So she gets 2 shots because that's the rate of fire on her awesome gun. He's no longer in cover and it's close range. Close range, no cover, 3+. She has a combat skill of 1 and she gets 2 shots. They both hit, technically, right? No. Shit, that 1 doesn't hit. Dang it. So I got 1 hit. Neither of them were critical, so she can get to use her cruel critical ability. Damage is 0, so it's a straight roll against the Pandemonium Kid. Let me check his stats. He has toughness of 3. Oh. He doesn't have any... Does he have an armor save? No. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So 3+. And we get the ultimate revenge for Bob by killing their leader. Oh, it's terrifying. 3. Well done. We just dropped the Pandemonium Kid with our jump pack riding blitzer. Okay, we'll just get rid of him. That's awesome. Wow, that was huge. Okay. So that is the end of the combat round. They killed Bob, but we took 2 of them. Justice for Bob. Now we do the morale step. So end of the round, roll die 6 per casualty this round. Dice that are equal to or below the panic range cause 1 figure to bail. What is our panic range? We'll look at our specialist here. Trackers. Panic is 2. Alright, so I get to roll 2 dice. On a 1 or a 2 on either of them, somebody routs. Alright, here we go. 1 rout. It's going to be the closest person to my side, which I think is the stunned guy, which feels appropriate because he did have a bullet glance off his noggin or something. All right. Boom. He ran away. So we've got 2 kills and 1 rout. Remember, the mission objective of this one was to clear the field. That was it. So we need to be here and they not to win this mission, basically. So that can be routing or killing, doesn't matter. But we also had the condition that it was a rush job, I think it was called. I forgot what it was called. But we have to test at the end of every round. 2 dice. If we roll equal to or less than the round number, everything ends immediately without resolution, which would be really bad since we've already lost a character and I'm going to have to deal with post-battle like injuries and such. To not make any money on this one would really suck. So 2 dice. We just need to not roll a 2. Whew. All right. Which puts us at a new round. Now you roll this reaction roll. I roll a die, 1d6 for every character I have. I lost Bob, so it's now 5d6. And I really could use some 1s. Okay, I got a 1 and a 2. So the 1's going to work for whoever I want. And the 2 will work for Romeo because he has a reaction speed of 2. Okay, so Romeo's going to be a fast action. Move Romeo up here. And then the other fast action. Should Relen just freaking keep rushing these guys like she thinks she's a space marine? Jumping into battle? Could kill that specialist. Yeah, let's do it. She has that awesome needle weapon. Okay. So just as a reminder, what's happening now is these 2, because they made their reaction rolls, are going first. Then all the bad guys go. And then all my other characters go. All right. So what's Romeo's poor little non-sentient buddy he probably shared lubricant with is dead, or at least deactivated temporarily. So I could go 1. I could get on the roof, which doesn't really do me any good. What's your range on your weapon again, Romeo? 18. That's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. None of those are good. He's just gonna get on the roof. Or is he gonna? 18. How far does 18 go? Oh, he's gonna go into Snapfire. That's what he's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get him a Snapfire token here. So when these guys move, because presumably they will, he should be able to Snapfire one of them. Okay, so Snapfire, Overwatch, and other games means he sacrifices going in the quick action round in order to drop Overwatch across the battlefield. So that's what he's doing. He's got Overwatch. Relen, on the other hand, is just going to continue her cold, merciless, ancient race vengeance here. Use her jump pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just get right behind both these chumps so they have no chance at cover. And shoot with her crazy needler gun. Okay? So she's in short range with the needler gun. She's maneuvered so that they don't have cover anymore. Which means her to hit should be, 3+. But her combat skill is 1, so it's really a 2+. And it's a needler, so it gets 2 shots, so 2 tries. And it's a critical, which means if she rolls a 6 on the to hit, it does an extra damage. Yeah, that's a good gun she's got. She is quite the shock troop. Okay, so I'm rolling 2d6, adding 1 to each roll, looking for a 3. We're really looking for a 6, though. Go. Oh my god, she doesn't roll great to hit though. So that +1 is a 2. That's a miss still, but this is a hit. So 1 hit on the specialist. Damage is 0, so she needs to do its toughness or higher. So it's still really good. 3+, and she takes this guy out. Please do it. Ah! Oh, those tumbles so scary. Okay, 5. The specialist is down. Okay, so again, during the panic phase, now we have 1 to test on. Wow, great job, Berlin. You're a murderer. This is why you always get the mysterious alien on your crew. Okay, so now that's my 2 quick fire people. This guy is required by the rules to shoot at Relin because 3 inches or less, you have to shoot at him. So no cover for Relin, sadly. Hope I didn't just get her killed. Let's see. He can move though. 1, 2, or let's see, where was he here? So that counts as rough. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so he gets himself back into cover and then shoots at her. Has a combat skill of 1 because he's just a regular soldier. She's in the wide open. Ooh, I may have made a big mistake with this. Okay, that's all right. 1d6. Ah! You missed, sucker. Okay. Now, this guy is in a useless position now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that in Romeo's range? 16. I believe he had an 18. Yes. So that triggers Romeo's Overwatch. Which I hope he kills him because these two are both going to shoot at Relin. Okay. Romeo has a combat skill of 0. 1 shot with a colony rifle. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I gotta remember Captain Sal's special targeting rule. Oh, it doesn't matter because he killed that guy. I'm babbling. Captain Sal has a targeting piece of gear that if he shoots at the same target 2 turns in a row, he gets a +1. But they killed the other guy, so it doesn't even matter. Okay, nevertheless, in range, but long range, but no cover. He's up elevated and they're away from this fence, so you don't count that as cover. So I believe that's a 5. Yeah, so it's a 5+ with no modifier. That's not good. Please roll high. Okay, Snapfire gone. That is unfortunate. Okay, so he moved. Now he acts. Shoots at Relin. In range, but far away, so it's a 5+. Please don't hit her. Whew. Okay. This is going pretty fast. I'm impressed with how easy. I guess with the quick deaths, it's gonna go fast. This guy is very comfortable where he's at. He has no reason I would be cheating if I moved him. If anything, he should back up. Yeah, I think he will back up to here because it's still a similar range. All right, far away, no cover for Alen. Needs a 5. He has a +1. No! Oh, crappity crap. He has a military rifle which has no damage bonus. Okay. Once again, we've risked Relen's life. Just double check that she does not have an armor save. She does not. Her toughness is 3. Oh, shoot. Does she have luck? Forgot about the luck. Does she have luck? She has no luck. We gotta get you some luck if you survive this, Relen. Okay, so that means toughness or higher, she's removed from the battle. So 3+. Roll out, roll out, roll out. 2! Jetpack ninja. Jetpack ninja. All right. So that's all the baddies. Now it's our slow guys. We could almost end this right now. Captain Saw has a ridiculous 30-inch range. So he will just take a pop at this guy that's out of cover. It's long range, but no cover. There's no height bonus, by the way. There's no high ground bonus. The bonus is that you can see over stuff. So that's a 5. Captain has a 1 combat skill. So it's a d6 + 1. We need a 5. We rolled a 1. Boo. Okay, Mira with her ridiculous short range weapon. What do you want to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just an all move turn. I'm coming, Relen. I'm like, ugh, this is scary. Should I jump Relen out of there next turn? Yeah, maybe. Oh, Noe. I forgot about Noe. Oh, my bad. Okay, Noe has the blast rifle, which has a range of 16 and a damage of 1. Do you think that's gonna reach anybody? No. So she can move 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, look at that. 16. Boom. Okay. Noe's combat is 1. We already know the calculation here. He's long range but not in cover. It's a 5. So I roll a d6, add a 1, and need a 5 or better. One. Yep. 4 + 1. It's 5. It's a hit. Noe has some, what is it? Oh, damage +1. Okay, so she's a +1 on her damage roll, which we know is his toughness or higher. So I'm rolling d6. I need 3 or higher, but I'm adding 1. That's a 2. That's a 2. Okay, but he is hit, which pushes him back 1 and stuns him. Where's my little stun marker? Boom. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Oh, Zoe got stunned too, huh? I totally forgot that. So she would have got pushed back and stunned. That's too bad. I think you're not Zoe, Relen. Relen's just gonna go down fighting here. When you're stunned, you can move or shoot. You can't do both. Into the round. Morale check. And then the weird scenario check we have to do. Now all our big guys are dead, so let me just double check. Their panic is a 2. Okay, so I'm rolling 1d6 for the one casualty. If I get a 2 or less, one of them runs away. 1! Wow, the way they program these 3D dice to roll kind of builds suspense. That's hilarious. Okay, one of them has to run away. I'm going to be nice and say it's the stunned guy. Bye-bye. Boosh. Now I have to do the special scenario check to see if the mission just abruptly ends for no good reason. This is the third round, so it's 2d6, 3 or less. That happens. Oh, again, really hope that doesn't happen. Whew, 11. Does not happen. It's starting to click up, though. I'm getting a little worried. I need to kill these guys. Okay, new round. Reaction test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So I roll 5 dice. I want very low. Very low. Okay, so let me just double check the character sheet so I can see them all at a glance. Reaction 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. Okay, so everyone gets to go in the quick action phase except for one person. That one person is going to be Mira because she's way behind the curve here. Should they get down? He's got a range of 30. This is a height 1. He's on a height 3, so he can see over this wall. Okay, so he's fine right there. Zoe. Oh, she's okay too. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give everyone a quick action except Mira. And they're going to all take their quick action, so we're not going to overwatch anybody. We're not going to overwatch anybody. They're all going to take their quick actions. Mira will go in the slow phase. So, but we're going to start with Relin because she got problems. Relin she's stunned, so she can move or attack. Her range on her needle rifle is 18. Okay, she'll just shoot that one. She gets 2 shots. She has combat skill of 1. He's in cover, so that would be a 6. Oh man, is that a mistake? Nah, we'll just go for it. So it's a 6 with 2 shots and a +1 on the rolls. That 5 becomes a 6, so that is 1 hit. Relin bags that dude. It's a critical. She didn't roll any natural 6s, so that doesn't work. And it's damage +0. So she needs to roll a 3 to 6 on 1d6 to get this guy out. Whew. Dropped him. Boosh. Wow, there's only one of these jokers left. Okay, I have to kill him. I can't risk that stupid end of scenario roll going bad. So we're all... Oh, and that removes her little stun token because she only took the 1 action. Okay, we'll start with the boss. Captain Sal has a range of 30. He's on a elevation 3, so he ignores all this stuff. It's 21. And he's no cover. Long range, no cover is a 5. Double check his weapon real quick. 1 shot, damage 1. Okay, so he has a 1 combat skill. So he needs a 5, but he's going to +1 on this roll. Ah, that's anticlimactic. Noe? Oh, I don't think Noe can see that one. It centers, the center of that building edge is in the middle of the hex, so that. Oh, but what elevation is? No, that wouldn't work. They don't have rules for shadows. BattleTech had rules for like an elevation shadow. This game doesn't have those. We're just going to say it's not in range. Forget it. It's no big deal. But that would leave Romeo, who can 1, 2, 3. Nope, he can't. Oh no. I may have planned this poorly, guys. I was so excited for the kills. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think. Yeah, that's blocking. Okay. Well, he'll take the extra move then and just hug the wall over here. That's too bad. All right. That means because of my poor planning, I have given this last guy one last chance to get a kill. He is 4 inches away from Relin, so he's not technically obligated to shoot at her, except that the AI rules say you take the easiest shot, and Relin would be the easiest shot. So she's in the open. She's in his close range. Oh, that's not good. So that's a 3 to hit. He has a combat skill of 1. So he's rolling d6, needs a 3, and he's adding 1. Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen. Okay. I keep checking these stupid weapons. No damage bonus. Okay, so he doesn't get a damage bonus. He has to roll her toughness or higher. Her toughness is 3, which is unfortunate. We know she has no armor save. And also no luck. So this hit will take her out of the battle if he hits her. Alright, so d6, 3 plus. Oh. She's the divine warrior. She is so lucky. Oh my god. That was their only guy shooting, right? Yeah. Which leaves our slow actor, Mira. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes running around the corner. Is he in range? He is exactly in range for her shitty little machine pistol. 2 shots. Has to be the same target. No problem. Okay. Long range, but out of cover. So it's a 5 plus. Oops. We got to use her so infrequently. I forgot what her combat skill is. Her combat skill is 0. That's too bad. Okay. So 2 shots at 5 plus. So 2d6. 2 hits with her little machine pistol. Pop, pop. So that is 2 damage rolls. His toughness is 3. So a 3 to 6 on either roll. And he's out. And we barely did it. We barely did it. Oh my god. Okay, but that got him. He is removed. Look at that. So the crew has won the day. We did suffer a casualty in Bob the Bot. We will circle around off camera, figure out all the campaign implications of a casualty. I think there's rolls on injury tables. I'm concerned that bots don't roll on the normal table. It might just be I have to shell out a bunch of money or something. But yeah, that was that. I mean, I would have had to roll to see if the scenario ended because that dumb special rule. If I hadn't killed that guy this turn, glad I didn't. So Sal's Raiders can get back on board the Scarab and go fly to their patron to get paid, and they held the ground at the end, which has a system bonus, a bonus in the normal system, but this mission also had hazard pay. So if you hold the ground at the end, you get extra hazard pay, which we did. So we wiped out the gunslingers of the Black Reckoning. I was a little worried, and then Bob died, so I was a lot of worried, but we did it. So yeah, that's this game. 5 parsecs from home. Very simple system. Definitely there's more of the system is in the campaign part, generating your missions, getting patrons, chasing rumors, buying new gear, upgrading your ship. All that outside of battle stuff is more complex than what we did right here, obviously. The AI rules are almost non-existent. They have a couple stipulations, but beyond that, it's play how you think you should play. That part I am a little on, because it's basically saying, hey dude, if you want a fair fight, you need to treat the NPCs fairly. And I'm okay doing that, but I could totally see people not doing that, which is weird to me. That's why I like at least some AI scripting, some like if-then statements going on with your opposition. But it's cool. It was fun, and it's real easy to do, so I could see doing this again for funsies. And I want to get log XP for all these guys, and we'll see if we can get them some cool new gear. And we have a ship to pay off, so that's a thing too. Is this going to be a regular feature or just a one-off? A couple questions. Sorry guys, I wasn't looking at the chat. It could easily be a regular feature. We have a one-shot role-playing game that hopefully we're going to do in the next couple weeks. And I've set that up in Alchemy, so I might back burner this for at least a couple weeks, and then I could see doing it again. But also, the rumor is Broken Empires is dropping in July, the PDF, and I do want to run that really bad. So then I'll be back on Alchemy designing a whole different module for that. But yeah, this is so easy. I could definitely generate another mission and go for it again. To answer your question, Abyss, how long did it take to set all this up? Because it's such a simple system, the Alchemy module was easy. Probably an hour or two of setting up. Incarnate, I designed the map in Incarnate. That was based on the parameters of the mission I generated. All the background stuff was a lot of steps, but it was all easy steps. So at best, that took an hour. So next time between missions, maybe another hour of figuring all that out. Then the map, once I knew what the mission was going to be, probably should have been like an hour or less, but I futzed around with it. So maybe I turned that hour into 2 or 3 hours. But now I have the base of everything down. So the downtime part will be pretty easy. Probably just sitting down 30 minutes with the tables in the rulebook. The next Incarnate map, maybe an hour for that. And then the gameplay, which we saw was, oh man, I didn't even pay attention to when I actually started the fight, but it wasn't very long. And it'll be even shorter next time. I'm already thinking of ways I need to modify the NPC list so I can track, because if the mission gets more complicated, that could be a problem. So right now, because I named this gang of gunslingers Black Reckoning in uh, the little queue over here on the right, all you can see for the most part is Black Reckoning. You can't see which number NPC they are or anything. So I need to think more about stuff like that. I also would love to create some kind of symbology in the character tokens. So at a glance, I know what their combat skill is, what their toughness is, and stuff like that. So I might work on that too. So I'm not always, because the way it is right now, I got to go to the character, hit play, look at their trackers for what their stats are, or their skills and equipment for what they're carrying, kind of thing. That could be simplified a little bit. And if you're unlucky, setting up is usually longer than playing. Yeah. The expansions have more varied AIs. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Because this is also the newer edition. There was an older edition, I guess, before Modiphius picked it up. So I'm using the Modiphius PDF, but I didn't even look, to be honest, to see if there were expansions. So I will check those out. If you're unlucky with the enemy. Yeah, so I had two things going against me. My guys are almost as fragile as their guys. So that was scary. It's my first battle. I positioned some people poorly, I would say. I got to think about that a little more next time. But I was also on a clock. This mission had a clock. You know, every round, if I rolled 2d6 at the end of the round and it was less than the round number, the mission was just over. Inconclusive. Doesn't count as successful, so no payday. Had I lost Bob the Bot and got no payday, that would have sucked. And I was outnumbered. These guys were 7. I started with 6. They got a special lieutenant guy because of the way I rolled. And they got veteran status because of the way I rolled. Fortunately, none of that ended up being too bad. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. Makes me want to check out the fantasy one. Just 5 leagues from home or something like that. I need to sidetrack you, Matt. Return to the analog. Oh, wait. What did Miguel say? Return to the analog. You can write down the stats on a piece of paper and tape it next to the screen. True. I totally could. I have it in a PDF. It's right here. I made a fillable PDF. It's just a little wonky to use that. So yeah, I would use paper before I would try to edit on the fly this PDF. But I could at a glance see all their stats on this page. So I could just go back and forth that way. Because you're not tracking wounds in this game. You get a wound, you're out. So there's not a lot of tracking to do. 5 leagues from the border. Thank you. What type of setting is Broken Empire's Abyss? It is a gritty, feudal setting with sprinkling of high fantasy, but not a lot. The high fantasy mostly comes from the fact that magic use is very open-ended. It's like Ars Magica. You the player create your own spells, and on the fly you do that, and there are consequences when you blow your roll. But the combat is super gritty. There's no hit points, which I love. You track individual wounds with hit locations. Wounds can get infected. There's also really in-depth travel rules, kind of like riffing on the travel rules from the One Ring, if you've ever experienced those, or the travel rules from Forbidden Lands. And it's a skill-based system, no class, no level, no hit points. It's all skills, percentile-based. It's like all this stuff I usually want to play. I know we've been playing the old school D20 stuff, and that's fine. I'm totally down for that, but I really like a good gritty skill based system, so I'm really excited about that one. I look forward to Terry making a wizard and then immediately hating the magic system, because that's what happened to him in Swords of the Serpentine. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun. Anyway, guys, I wanted to give it a shot. I'm like, what, kind of 2 weeks late on getting this all going. But we got there. Yeah, now I just got to figure out. It was supposed to be piping the alchemy audio to you guys, and apparently that wasn't working right. So I got to figure that out. I'll talk to Jeremy about that. But yeah, that was 5 Parsecs From Home, our first mission. It was fun. It's cool. It's a cool solo system. I will grant it that. I have some on the AI, but it's ease of play, quick resolution. Love it for that. That's cool. Hope you enjoyed, everybody. I'm going to go to sleep now. Thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you later.